Okay, we got 3 questions already to start the show off that we're bringing from TikTok. Welcome to Car Shopping Q&A. My name is Deshone the Auto Advisor. If this is your first time on a live with me, I want you to type the number 1. Welcome to all the first-time people. We do these lives all the time. I see we got Tyler Mom. I see we got Juan Bustos. We got Equus. We're going to get to your question first. We got Lulu just checked in. Shout out to the people checking in on TikTok. And I want you to come in and just focus for a couple minutes. Welcome to the first-time people. Thor Dad, Dorothy, welcome. Everybody who's typing the 1, welcome to the show. My mission is I hold myself accountable to, if you listen to me, my goal is for you to know that you have saved thousands of dollars every car you buy. That is the goal, to know. I don't want you to wonder, because what most people do when they buy a car, they hope they did okay. That's the strategy. They leave the dealership. Hey, you think should we have tried to get them down a little bit more? Nah, I think we did okay. You think we got enough for our trade-in? It's a hope. And 99 times out of 100, they didn't get the good price. They didn't. So what I want you to do, and what you're going to be able to do as you tap into what we're talking about, is guarantee every single car you buy, you pay less than everyone else. And there was no way you could have gotten it for a lower price anywhere around you. If you're in New York, I want you to know there was no dealer in New York, Pennsylvania, Connecticut that I could have bought this car from that would have sold it to me for less. Okay. And we do this so easily because we do this from home and we use the internet to make this happen. So, all right. So we got our first couple questions. I do want you to know this whole live stream is sponsored by my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can get a copy of this. If you don't want to remember any of what we're about to talk about, you might be like, Sean, 30 minutes from now, you're like, this was great. I don't want to remember any of this. You get the blueprint. It's normally $97, but for 30 minutes, you can get your copy for 75% off. Go into my TikTok bio or my Instagram bio, and you'll get your copy instantly. It'll be in your inbox, 75% off, which is $24, and you'll have everything we're going to talk about and more, because there's strategies that we're just not going to have time to go over today. But if you want the whole blueprint, it's there. On YouTube and Facebook, we have a comment pinned for you guys so you can get your 75% off. Let's get the show on the road, Dolan. So Equus from TikTok asks, how do you deal with those who only want to communicate by phone? Okay, so there's dealers that are not going to come off that. That's why it's important for you to have multiple options. This is so important. The key to overpaying is dealing with 1 or 2 dealers, because what they want you to do is they want you going into the dealers. You lose all your leverage. Leverage is what allows you to get better deals. The more leverage you have, the better deal you can get. Leverage is things like, I don't need a car today. I can buy a car today, but I could also wait until the end of next month. That's leverage. You're not desperate. When you give off desperate vibes, you're losing your leverage. Oh, I need a car today. Oh man, you're one of the only dealers that have this car. I've been looking around for it. These are all things that lose you leverage. You don't even know. This is losing you leverage. So that's why I don't like to talk. But in the event we are talking when we're at the dealership for a test drive only, or if we're at home and we're negotiating online and people say, hey, we only deal by phone. You make one statement. Hey, I'll be handling my entire process from home. None of the other dealers that I've spoken to have said that. Are you open to dealing online, or should I remove you from my list? Let me say that again. None of the other dealers I'm speaking to have said that. Are you open to working with me online, or should I remove you from my list? See how powerful that is? That's one of the scripts in my book. Everything we do is scripts, email scripts. But it's important that everything you do when you're dealing with a dealer end with a question. And I'm going to tell you why. We have something we call the 25 to 5. What's up, Jason? Good to see you. Jeffrey, good to see a lot of people checking in on TikTok. Good to see y'all. Everything you do must portray to the dealers, I'm not one of these other people that you've convinced you're the only game in town. Once they can convince you they're the only one with the car, they're the only one that has the sale, they're the only one that they got you. So everything we do is to show them we know that no matter how much I like that blue Genesis GB70, there's probably 100 Genesis dealers in the United States, and there's probably 25 within 200 miles of me. And I'm talking to them too. They're in my inbox too. So don't worry if you're like, yo, how do we call? Yo, no, you don't do all of this by talking. You don't want to be doing all of this by talking. You want to be doing this by email. We go direct to the dealer site. Now, let's preface. Let me make this clear. This is for new car buyers. Anyone who's buying a new car, I want you to type me, or leasing. This is what you use. This is what you use. It's a different strategy when we're shopping for pre-owned cars, because we're going on marketplaces. I'm about to shop for a pre-owned car for my dad, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. Document the whole process, how easy it is to get a below market deal on what he wants based on shopping on marketplaces. But when we are dealing with dealers and we're leasing or we're getting a new car, we are reaching out to 25 dealers online. We go right on their website, send them what we want. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Copy and paste. Now we have 25 dealers that are, start the competition, y'all. Start the competition. This is how you win, because now who's ever been at a dealer and they're like, well, hey, I'm sorry, I don't have the black one that you want. Good to see you, Kim Burnett, checking in. Jamie, good to see you. Who's been at a dealership and you're like, hey, do y'all have a black one that has the beige seats inside? That's what I want. Like, you tell them what you want and they're like, we don't have that. We might be able to get it. Who's heard that before? Who's heard that? Type me if you've heard that. Yeah, and they're right, Dorothy. She's like, then they have you sitting for hours. Right. They're trying to find this other replacement vehicle. Wait, do you like this one? What about this one? No, I really wanted the black, and my second choice was the gray. You don't have that either. When you're at home and you're communicating by email with 25 dealers, you give yourself the best shot to have your car. Because now you're not shopping out of 2 dealers' inventory, 1 dealer's inventory. You're shopping out of that 25. So the reason why my strategy in my book is called the 25 to 5, because when we connect with 25 dealers online, we know we're going to get 5 to 7 quotes. And that's the goal. I'm going to cast this wide net. I'm going to get 25 quotes. Now I realize, like Equa said, you're going to get the normal things that you should be using to eliminate dealers. Hey, we only deal by phone. Hey, when can you come in? Hey, we don't provide quotes online. Perfect. None of your competition, none of the other dealers I'm speaking with have said this. Should I remove? Are you open to dealing online, or should I remove you from my list? No one wants to be removed from a list. And here's why every script we have that we use, and I probably in my book, I probably have 20 different scripts based on what they're going to say. And the reason why everyone ends with a question is this. These dealerships have managers that every time they come in to look at what we're a lead, put it like this, anyone in sales knows what that term is, lead, we become a lead. Leads cost money. So when that manager comes to the salesperson and says, hey, why haven't you contacted Marco Sanchez? He said he was looking online. He gave you everything you needed. What's going on? Why haven't you contacted this woman, Shanice Johnson? What's happening? I see she asked you if you were willing to deal online. You just stopped communicating. Now they're the blame. That's the whole thing. So once you know how to, in each script with a question, throw it back to them. First thing we're doing when we're talking to all of these dealers online by email is, do you even have a vehicle I want? See, a lot of times you guys go wrong. You're reaching out to the dealership. Hey, can I get a quote on this vehicle? You're going wrong there. And I'm going to tell you why. As someone who I've floored hundreds and hundreds of leads, being in Mercedes, being in General Motors, I was the one looking at that. You're not giving them what they need. So what we need to do right from the start is, before I even ask you for a quote, before I even tell you anything, do you have a car that matches my interests? That's step one. So once we find out, okay, they have a car. See, because what you're going to find when we connect with 25 online, maybe 10 of them don't even have a car. That's great. 15 do. Out of 15, now let's go to the next step. Request my quote. And the next issue, I see, shout out to the sharers. Everyone who's hitting the share button, we appreciate you. Everyone who, I always want to shout out the sharers. People who send this video to people, hey, yo, you got to watch this. This is because we don't play games over here. So shout out to the sharers. We can't do this without you. Hit the arrow, hit the paper plane. It matters. We appreciate you. So what we're not doing now that we need to is give the dealer what they need to give us a quote. That's partially the problem. We don't realize, again, this is not for used cars. This is strictly my new car buying strategy. This is the same strategy that all of these people I show you in the broadcast have used to get these below market prices. When y'all hear these prices and y'all be like, oh, this is not what I'm paying. I got that same car. I didn't get $15,000 off, $8,000 off, $20,000 off. These are the same tactics that they use. It's a competition. You have to give dealers certain things or they can't give you a quote. You got to give them your zip code. They got to factor in the tax. We need to know what kind of vehicles do you have in the household. That's conquest rebates, loyalty rebates. We need to know what you do for a living. See if you qualify for any incentives there. There's certain things, what credit tier should we assume? So when we say, the reason why I created these templates that you'll have, literally, you get your copy of Cars from Home, it's 5-star rated. You'll have all the templates. But like I said, if you're like, Deshone, I'm writing down everything. I'm going to remember all of this. God bless you. God bless you. I'm going to give you the game. For those of you who don't want to remember it, get your copy of Cars from Home in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook floating link there. And you get it for 75% off for 30 minutes. You won't pay the $97 price, as long as you get there before 30 minutes. So the reason we have these templates set up is because I need you to be able to simply copy and paste and send them out to multiple dealers. You're sending the dealers the same thing. You're not changing. You're sending every dealer the same thing. So now every dealer has the exact same information and they can actually compete. And those who, remember this, there's an 80% that I need you guys to know about. The 80, some of you have heard of the 80-20 rule. 8 out of 10 dealers are overpriced. Doesn't matter how much you negotiate with them. Their lowest price is going to be a lot higher than their competition. When you hear somebody say, hey, Mr. Haywood, we appreciate you, but this is my best price. I can't get the manager to go any lower than that. Who's heard that? Who's heard that? Who's been in a dealer and they just like, listen, you beat me down. This is the best price. I can't get any. You're basically still in the car, right? God's anointed. When you heard that, Cheryl, you heard it. Okay, so now, definitely heard that before, right? They're not necessarily lying. What you have to know from this particular point on in your life is that is only your best price. That's not Nissan's best price. People will say, hey, I went to Nissan, man, those cars are high. No, I went to Nissan of Bay Ridge, got a price from them. It was high. One Nissan dealer, these are all independently owned franchises competing. They report at the end of the month who sold the most cars. They get awards for that. Best in class, best in the region. They're competitors. This is the secret to you saving more money than you've ever saved without even trying. Putting the competitors against each other is how you save the money. And once they have somebody who they know is making them compete against their competitors, you're going to pay less than everyone else. It's not even a game. The person in that dealer, if they're at a dealership and they're what we call, I want y'all to remember this, type it if you know, the 80%. Everybody who's getting this point, I want you to type 80% into the chat. That means you're getting it. 80% of dealers, no matter how good of a negotiator you are, they're never going to give you the price that their competition could give you. They're never going to do it. Look, Kimberly got a Maserati not too long ago. It was a $91,000 car. They took off $20,000. The dealer that won her bid was a 20% dealer. See, we got the 80% dealers that don't want to compete. They're going to make sure, yeah, I'll take off 4,000, but I'll leave myself another 3,000. I'll take off 6,000, but I'm not going to give you the $2,000 rebate that you don't know about. Yeah, I'll take off 2,000, but you're not going to know that I'm sitting on another 5. I'm not giving that up. That's the 80%. They're not going to give it up. But when you sit at home, you do look like Kimberly did, save 20 grand. Like Sean did, got 20 grand off his F-150. Like we just had, my God, the biggest discount any of my people who follow me ever got that was reported to me was this one. Oh my goodness, she saved almost $30,000. I said, you definitely got the record. Now again, it's different for every car. We never know where the bottom is. This is Milligan. She got it. It was a $79,000 vehicle. She got it for $51,000. Now, in that was $20,000. It was a $20,000 plus discount, a $7,500 rebate. She found a dealer. That's the 20%. That's why we cannot go and look for the 20%. We can't walk in and hope, I wonder if I'm in a 20% dealer. You don't know. The only way you know is you sit at home, you make these dealers compete against each other, and then you see the best ones. Wow, you're a whole lot less. You're the 20%. All of them was trying to overcharge me. That's the key. That is the key. All right. Great question, Equus. All right, let's pull up the next one. I know we got a lot more. I just wanted to go deep on that. Feel sorry for you for buying that Maserati. She leased it, so she's enjoying it. You know, you can say whatever you want to say, but you know, people enjoy it. And what we do, quite honestly, is we take the steps to make sure that the vehicles we are looking at have great public data. That's one of the steps. And step 4 of my book is called Shopping, Not Buying. We actually take these steps to check these vehicles and check the data, check the initial quality, check the reliability. So, you know, she's enjoying her Maserati. Trust me, every day she's enjoying it. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Okay, KLK, good to see you. 2023 Camry XSE under 30,000 miles. What's a good price? We only know by competing. Now let's talk used, because this is a used question. Now let me tell you this. This is very important about recent year used car shopping. This is very, very important. Those of you who you're like, Deshaun, I want a used car, but I only want one that's like 1 year old, maybe 2. 2 problems that you need to think of that we need to take seriously. Dealers only get used cars by buying them from auction, buying them after people lease them, or buying them from their customers or who trade them. Those are the only 3 ways dealers get pre-owned cars. What do you think the odds are that they're getting a 1 year or 2 year old pre-owned car? Unless there was a 2-year lease, they're not going to see a lot of them. Unless they bought unless someone bought the car and said, all right, I don't like it, and came and traded it in 2 years, they're not going to get a lot of them. Problem with that is we don't have pricing to compare it to. See, when we're shopping for a pre-owned car, I'm about to shop for a 2021 Ford Explorer for my father. That's his first choice. I know I have hundreds of vehicles to compare, assess the market, see what the low side of the market is first. When we go in these marketplaces, we need to see what the low side of the market is, where the high side is, and we're targeting the low side. But when we don't have enough vehicles to do that, this is a dangerous zone. Now, let me tell you what could happen. And then I'll tell you what you should do first to make sure you don't get jammed up like this. When you see a vehicle that is okay, let me go back to this big discount example. So you got a big discount. Milligan saves $27,000 off a new Mercedes, right? You guys can see it if you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube. Even a regular deal where somebody saves $6,000, like Tiffany, she saved $65, almost $7,000. If somebody walks in to buy this vehicle 1 year old, they don't realize that the new market on that vehicle is almost $7,000 off. So they might look at a $44,000 vehicle that was originally $45,000, but today it's a 1 year old one. It has 8,000 miles on it. We're asking $35,000. All right, could you do 34? Because the new ones are 44. The new ones are 44. So maybe I could buy a 1 year old one for like 35. Okay, so all right, I buy it for 35. Problem is, the new market for that vehicle was 37 and change. So for $2,000 more dollars, you could have got a brand new one. Does that make sense? Type locked in if that makes sense. I'm buying a 1 year old version of this vehicle. Sometimes people do this with 2 year old versions. They'll go in and they're like, okay, I see I'm saving $10,000 off a brand new one. I'm saving $12,000 off a brand new one. Well, so I'm gonna get this used one because it's $10,000, $12,000 less. Well, what happens if you could have saved $8,000 off the brand new one? You have to know the market for the new one when you're buying a vehicle that's that recent, that doesn't have a ton of competitors. And let's get even drastically more serious on how we could lose. Somebody like Sean, he gets the F-150. He saves $20,000. Let me pull up Sean's deal. This is and we'll get to the point of what you do to avoid this. But I need you to know how bad this is first. Sean gets a $20,000 discount off a brand new $73,000 F-150 using my shop from home strategies. Same strategies you're going to have in Cars from Home, the book. Get your copy immediately. So he gets this. What happens if somebody pulls up on a 1 year old or 2 year old F-150 Lightning that was originally 73? Now they see a dealer is listing it for 50. That sounds good, right? 2 year old F-150, 50,000. All right, that's got to be a good price. Now they buy a 2 year old one for 50. They think they won. They're driving around. Man, this truck was 73,000 new. I got mine for 50. Didn't realize that the brand new market on a brand new one with the rebates and the biggest discount you can get was 20,000 off. So for 7,000 more, you could have got a brand new one. Never titled, no owner. You're the first owner. But you bought a 2 year old one, you saved $7,000. No, you didn't. You overpaid because when you go to resell that vehicle one day, or when you go to assess it and see what it really worth, you overpaid for it. That's the dangerous part with recent year cars. So the first thing I would tell you to do, KLK, is anyone who's shopping for a 1 or 2 year old pre-owned vehicle, shop the new market first. That's going to tell you if there's any incentives, rebates, anything that will affect the pre-owned market. If they're having trouble moving, anytime you see a $15,000 discount, $10,000, $8,000, that means those vehicles new aren't easy to move. We need some factory incentives, which means that moves over to the, if I could save 10 grand off a new one, how much do I want to save off a pre-owned one? You get what I'm saying? If I could save 10 grand off a new one, how much should I be saving off the pre-owned one? 16? How much should I be saving? So this is only for you guys who are shopping recent. If you're going 3 years and 4 years back, you don't have to worry about this because you'll have enough vehicles, enough choices to comparatively shop. But those of you who are shopping 1 or 2 year old, you must shop the new market first. Let that be the indicator of how much discount I should be getting off of a 1 or 2 year old. Okay? All of the strategies for shopping new, pre-owned, leases, all in my book, step by step. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealership. We're already 5-star rated. Thank you to everyone who's rated it, reviewed it, wrote about how you used it. We appreciate you helping us get this out. Everyone, you can get your copy for 75% off. For the next 30 minutes, you'll have everything we're talking about in this stream, step by step. It'll be in your inbox in 5 minutes. Okay, just make sure when you get your copy, though, you do screenshot the thank you page. It has the support email on there. Just in case you type your email wrong, you can reach out to my support team. Make sure you get your book. There's also the link to open your book as soon as you buy it. So as soon as you buy it, you'll see, click below to open the book. And it's 75% off as long as you get there before the 30 minutes is up. So TikTok bio, Instagram bio, take the time. You come back to the stream after, go get your book. YouTube, we have a comment for you in the pinned comment. And then Facebook, you'll see a floating link for you guys. Get your 75% off. All right, Dolan, next question. So Carolyn, do you trust Consumer Reports Buying Guide annual car reports? That's a great question. Not necessarily. We don't know who's paying for what. We don't know when it comes to these third-party resources. We like to say in a perfect world, Consumer Reports is taking the issues that people report and they're actually just publishing them. But when I see people that charge for this types of information, it makes me a little leery because that should be public information. But that's okay. They got a business to run. Understandable. But unless it is direct from the all right, let's say 100,000 people buy a Honda Civic today. I mean, this year. Anyone who has an issue, it should be reported. Consumer Reports should know about it. So if you're driving a Honda Civic and you see a strange light come on, you should be able to know that 10,000 other owners reported that same strange light. This is not usually how it works. So what I do, Carolyn, is I have a process. This is in step 4 of my process. We call this shopping, not buying. You are spending way too much time getting your car and not enough time researching your car. Who's known somebody, be honest, who ends up with a car and the thing is in the shop almost every other month? Every time you see them. Type ouch if that was you. If it's you, be like, man, if you've ever had a car and it was like every 3 months, like there's another light on. Now I got to take it to the shop. Now they're saying we need this. Now the electrical system is going. All of this, just if that's you, type ouch. If you know somebody like that, just type me. So these are the steps we take. And shout out, I appreciate the people being honest. That's how we unlearn here. Look, I'm the bad news first person, y'all. If y'all don't know that about me by now, if this is your first stream with me, you definitely don't know that. I'm bad news first because I'm not meeting you in a place where you're like, if I ask you what's your shopping strategy, you're not going to give me a shopping strategy. Honestly, as an ex-car salesman, that impresses me. That guarantees you pay less than everyone and avoid problem cars. So I'm always meeting people in a bad place. And I got to tell you how much these mistakes are costing you. Thousands of dollars. And they were avoidable. That's the biggest thing. They were avoidable mistakes. So when we use this step 4, it's called shopping, not buying. We type in the exact year, make, and model into Google, and we want, there's 3 different categories that we're looking at. And Carolyn, this takes us literally 5 to 8 minutes to prevent us from having cars that everyone else knew was a nightmare car, but we didn't. We go in, let's say we're looking at a 2017 Hyundai Sonata. 3 categories you got to keep in mind. Initial quality. That tells us everything we need to know about the car in the first 3 months. What are owners saying about the car in the first 3 months? Reliability. What are owners saying about the car the first 3 years? Longevity. What are the experts that study engines and transmission? What are they saying about the car in the long run? Those are the three categories that you guys burn into your head. If you have my book, you don't need to burn them. Initial quality, reliability, longevity. These are three totally different data points. So we go in, we type in 2017 Hyundai Sonata initial quality. That'll tell us when it was new, what were they saying about it? Were they saying it was an electric problem? Were they saying this car has less than normal quality? Okay, and we just skim Google. That's it. Skim those first couple articles. You don't even need to go to the second page. Do not go to any dealership or brand sponsored site. So if you're looking at a 2017 Hyundai Sonata and you like, don't go to Hyundai of Westmount, see their little blog article they wrote about it. No, you want third party independent people, skim it. Then we type in 2017 Hyundai Sonata reliability. Skim the articles. Any red flags? Any red flags? Then, if you're buying a pre-owned car, those of you who are leasing, you don't need to do this. But if those of you who are buying a new car or buying a pre-owned version, you want to type in 2017 Hyundai Sonata longevity. 8 minutes. 8 minutes to prevent. I've had people that's like, man, Deshone, once you told me about that quality search, the vehicle I was looking at, I had to eliminate it because they were saying it has electrical problems that year. That particular year, because sometimes the 2019 has electrical problem, the 2020 is fine. That means the manufacturer took the steps, saw the reports, saw that the reliability was lower than normal, people were reporting it, and then the following year they corrected it. Who's heard never buy a car the first year it comes out, or never buy a car when it has a new engine, or a new electrical system, or a new transmission? This is what happens. So that's why each year is important. But this is how these little things, see, because some people look and be like, Deshone, how long does it take you to get these deals? How long does it take all of these people to get these deals? When you're good, 90 minutes. Your first time, it'll take you about 2.5, 3 hours. By the time, before one visit to the dealership, by the time it would take you to get in the dealership, get in your car, go drive to a dealership, have them, hey, I'm here to see Charlie. Go get Charlie, pull up a car. Hey, yeah, they got to pick it out. No, Charlie, you got a white one? Now, next thing you know, by the time you did that, the total time, we already talking to 25 dealers. We already seeing the whole used car market. You at one dealer. They're at one dealer. It's leverage. So once you get good, you'll be able to get deals in 90 minutes. Now, I don't suggest you do your research in 90 minutes. I suggest when you are test driving cars and you're deciding what you want, don't rush that. Don't rush that. People call me, people DM me, Deshone, I got a car, I had it 6 months, I'm trying to replace it. You're about to lose a ton of money. You can't buy a depreciating asset and replace it in 6 months and not lose thousands of dollars. Many of you know that. If you buy a car today, try to take it back tomorrow, you already lost $5,000. So you can't switch it. So the problem is we don't spend enough time shopping. That's deciding what we want. And this is the process. So what you're hearing is a process. I know you're not used to this. It sounds like I always just wing it. Yeah, you wouldn't wing a house purchase, right? And if you did, you'd expect to lose. I could wing my house purchase. I don't really care. Just, boom, here's my application. All right, now home inspection, all that. All right, now they told me it was bad. You just wing it. How would that turn out? But the second most expensive purchase of our lives, most people out there winging it. So when you come over to this world, you no longer are winging it. You're following a predictable process of making sure I'm paying less than everyone and making sure I get quality vehicles. Okay, so no, Carolyn, I'm not going to say I don't trust Consumer Report, but I would certainly add to my research and do those three searches that I just talked about: initial quality, reliability, longevity. Any car we buy, we're going to do that to make sure that we're not getting a bad car. There's no guarantees, but it definitely is us taking the steps to see where the data is to try to protect ourselves from a bad decision. Go ahead, Dolan. Next question. Tons of people you get a good price. I teach you to get a good price. You get a bad car. You lost. You know what I'm saying? Sharon, good to see you. My son has a 2002 Chevy Blazer. We're trying to purchase a used SUV as possible without making payments, maybe 10,000 or less, or maybe more. Any thoughts? So that's a Facebook Marketplace play. What we do when it comes to Facebook Marketplace, here's what you have to understand. You're looking for an owner. Anything under 10 grand, this is where the gems are, Facebook Marketplace. Because here's the thing. You're either going to buy private party or you're going to buy retail. The thing about retail is at a dealership. Retail in that price point, you're seeing a lot of crap. Not only are you seeing a lot of crap, you're seeing vehicles that were bought by dealers for $2,000, $5,000. Dealer puts $1,500 into them or whatever they put into them, turns around and sells the vehicle. Very, very light history on those vehicles. Don't really know what happened with them, who had them. Yeah, you can get a Carfax, but sometimes it's 3 owners. It's just you're literally going through. It's a needle in a haystack. And the sorting process that we use to buy our used cars, we sort it down based on title, based on service records, based on accident records. That's how we sort it down. Then we go into pricing. But in terms of just how we sort from the hundreds and hundreds of cars we look at online to our top 5, title history, service records, accident history. Once we know where the low side of the market is. So you got to look and say, all right, these older cars with higher mileage that I would find at a dealership for $6,000, they don't know anything about them. They don't know who had them. They don't know who owned them. They don't know the history. When we go to Facebook Marketplace and we sort for owners, we are now able to find people that know the car. They've had the car for 10 years, 8 years. This is what we want. Now, you're going to have a lot of dealers that put their owners, you got to ask the right questions. Hey, how long have you had the car? When you start hearing, and some of them have certain voices where it's a dealer. Man, I know you're a dealer. Like, we don't buy from them because all they did was go to the auction, pick up a car, now they're trying to flip it. And that's not a problem if you knew the history of the car. Because you don't know the history of this car with 80,000 miles or 110,000 miles, I'm taking on the risk. Because once you sell it to me, it's my problem. No warranty. Many of these cars you're not getting a warranty with. But when you buy from a grandfather or a grandmother or someone who's had their car for 9 years, 10 years, and the only reason they're selling it is because they got a new car or they needed a bigger car and they can tell you everything about that car. Yeah, this is right here. I was coming out the garage and I kind of nicked the mailbox. That's where I got that scratch from. That's what you want. That's priceless. You make a deal with those people. You pay you pay your local mechanic to come with you. Once you find that vehicle, you pay them $100. Can you come and take a look at this vehicle with me? Give me your opinion on it. This is like a home inspection. We don't mind paying $500 or $600 or $800 for a home inspection. Why? Because it protects us. It protects us from bad decisions, which lose us more money. So when we pay a company like yourmechanic.com, or if we have a local mechanic, some of you know I preach, you must have a local mechanic. You actually pay them, come here, take a look. Now you got out of Dodge $5,000, $7,000. You got a car that you know you could drive for the next 3-4 years. You know the history of it. It was taken care of. You looked at the Carfax. You validated that everything the owner told you was official. This is priceless. That's how I would be shopping if I had less than $10,000 to spend. That's what I would be shopping for all day long. Private party owner. All right. So, yeah. Let's go, Dorothy. Good to see you. No. You're not getting anything good for under 10,000. You're not getting anything good for under 10,000. See, some people will put their projections on you. Hang on 1 second. 1 second. Some people will put their projections on you. And we don't do that. Hang on 1 second, y'all. All right, perfect. Yeah, so listen, it's very important that when y'all step over to this world, You don't listen to anyone else who cannot shop. It is extremely important. We are in our own bubble over here. Those of you, look, if you're on YouTube, just the fact we can post deals. You see people posting their numbers. Everyone posts their cars. These are people in my private group. Anyone who wants to know about my private group, you could go with shopwithdeshone.com. It's in my bio. Because I teach people how to learn no matter how they want to learn. Some people want to learn directly working with me. Some people want to learn by getting the blueprint. I don't care how you get it, but get it. Here's the point. You notice everyone here that I'm showing post their deals. They post the numbers. No one that you know posts their numbers when they buy a car. All they do is post the car, because the car they like. The numbers they don't really love. They're not confident in them. So when you hear people that project their beliefs, there's no deals out here. What's going to happen is that's going to be like a bubble for you. That's going to, because there's no deals for you. You don't know how to get great lease deals. You don't know how to get deals that are, you see those commercials? The leases are so expensive. You don't know how to not pay those prices. No one that we lease, look, Ansley got a $58,000 car, $554 a month, no down payment. 99% of the people we shop with get leases, no down payment. They don't even put a down payment down. Same thing with purchases. Everything in my book is teaching you how to shop with no down payment, because that has nothing to do with the deal you get. A down payment has nothing to do with the deal you get. If you walk in right now and there's a $40,000 car and they sell it to you for $50,000, here's a $40,000 car. I'm gonna sell it to you for $50,000, but you don't have to put any money down. Is that a deal? No or no? No or no? So you have to understand that as you learn to shop, everyone around you who doesn't know how to shop, they're struggling. That's why I'm welcoming all the people that's locked in. We've gotten over 10,000 books delivered this year. That's 10,000 people that have a blueprint for how to pay less than everyone else. But 60 million people a year buy cars. So we realize. So what I want you to understand is, anytime you're moving with these cars, you're going to see just blood around you. You're going to see people who, my God, I can't believe this. They would never show you their contracts. Look at your car. Oh, I see you got a new car. Hey, how much you paying for that? And listen, I don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that. You have to be aware that that's what the world is doing. But that ain't what we doing. That's why I show you dozens and dozens of people. Every page you visit, whether it's my book page, shop from home page, we got videos, other people trying to tell y'all, hey, come over to our world. Because that world over there that's a tough world to be in. Y'all, so stay away from people who try to project their beliefs on you. They struggle. All right, let's go. All right, go ahead. Next question, Dolan. Okay, Dorothy, why do they run your credit with all these banks? Well, first of all, you let them. So you got to understand, you're letting them. We use something called the bank bidding war. So the best thing for you to understand, Dorothy, is what the banks allow and how they allow you to shop rates. All right, when someone is trying to shop rates for you and they work for the dealership, here's what they're trying to do. What's the highest rate this person can pay? And we still make a deal. That is how a finance manager shops you to banks. So if a bank is looking, that's why you notice, who notices this? If you ever are talking to a car dealership and they give you a quote, which is why we never get quotes in dealerships ever under any circumstances, when they give you a quote, when you ask them, well, what's the rate you're using for that? What do they say? They start backpedaling. Oh, well, we don't really know, we're assuming like, maybe 6.9, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, okay, no, we're using 7.9 for the quote. Why are they doing that? It's something called padding the deal. All right, we're about to do some more unlearning. All right. If you're unlearning, type UR. The letter U, letter R for unlearn, relearn. See, we gotta dump what we've learned about car shopping in order to receive this. Okay? All right, I see you. So now, the biggest thing, one of the biggest things, they're all big, but you have to learn is there's 3 different parts of the car buying transaction. Who you buy your car from, who you get your loan from, who you sell your old car to. Now, be honest, if you've ever, and could everybody hit the share button? I know everybody's not going to hit the share button, but could the sharers hit the share button? Because there's certain people that come in and they like all the good information, they always share. I need y'all. I'm talking to you. Can you find the share button on any platform you're at and share this? Shout out to the sharers. Always appreciate you. So there's 3 transactions. If you've ever given a dealer a sale, bought a car from them, and you gave them your loan, and you traded in your car to them, say, type me if you've done that. You bought a car from a dealer, gotten the loan from the dealer, traded your vehicle into the dealer. Who's done that? Type me. All right, Boz. Thank you. Thank you, Boz, for being honest. All right. Thank you, Craig. Thank you for being honest. You gave them 3 transactions. So how do I know we gave them 3 transactions? How are you going to know? Because there's companies that want to compete for your loan. They don't sell cars. We didn't give them a chance. There's banks and credit unions that want to compete with the same, with different banks. The dealerships might have 10 banks, 12 banks, 8 banks, depending on the size. But there's banks and credit unions outside of there that's like, hey, we love to get a shot. You're buying a car. Hey, can we be in the runnings for your loan? We don't sell cars. We sell money because there's big money in the money business. So now we didn't give them a chance. So that means the person who was trying to sell me the loan, we let them make the decision for us. We didn't shop on the open market. Now, second transaction, there's people that want to buy your cars. There's companies, I list 6 of them in my book: CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer connects you with a local dealership to get a bid. AutoNation connects you with a local dealership to get a bid. Car Gurus connects you with a local dealership to get a bid. So that's 6 companies that in 20 minutes you put in your car's information, you do the 5-minute appraisal, boom, they tell you, hey, this is what we could pay cash. They don't care if you buy something. They're not trying to sell you anything. They want to buy your vehicle. We didn't give them a chance. We got 1 offer from the same dealership we bought a car from. 3 transactions. So part of maximizing all the money we save is being able to bid out each one of the transactions. I'm going to say that again. Part of making sure you get all the money due to you in a car transaction is I'm bidding out each part of these transactions. Type, like, I don't know. Type $signs if you understand that how powerful this principle is. Type $signs if you understand that the bidding out of each transaction is how we guarantee we save the money. See, what the dealers want, what the car salespeople want, who they want to play with all of that money. Give me all the money. Craig, come on in. All right, listen, you want to buy this car? All right, let's take a look. Listen, don't worry about the numbers. We're going to work the numbers out. Now, you got a trade in too? You got a trade in too? Yeah, all right, I see the trade in. Don't worry. Listen, one thing about us, we never lost a deal over price. Who's heard that? This is all. People say, oh, this guy couldn't sell cars. That's why he teaches now. How hard is it to sell cars? Like when you move and you're like, giving them that, here's what the dealer has. Here's what the dealer. All right, I got about $5,000 of wiggle room in this car. Then I got a $2,000 rebate. All right, then I could go with the rate. I could play with the rate Now, salesman's not going to play with the rate because they don't touch the finance manager's money. But when I was in Ray Katina, we were our own finance managers. 2 Mercedes dealers I worked at. We ran our own numbers at Morristown, but we did not control of Ray Katina. We were the finance manager too. So we sold the car, we did all the paperwork, application into the bank, went over the products, extended warranties, one person. So that's why a lot of these car salesmen can't understand what I teach, because they haven't been a manager. They've never been a finance manager. They don't even understand. But this is what that. So there's money there. There's cushion there. There's probably $2,000-3,000 of wiggle room in the rate. Then we got more money in the trade. Okay, well, I know the trade. The used car manager says, all right, that car is worth no more than 18. All right, well, I'm gonna go start them at 16. So now we got $2,000 of wiggle room over here in your old car. Now we got $7,000 of discount in the new car. Now I got a little more room in the rate I could play with. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start them so high on the rate that I'm gonna have me another $2,500 that I could play with here. So I'm really dealing with like $11,000 that I can move around. If you get this say, well, I see the dollar sign. I see the dollar signs. Like, people getting this. That's why, there's several things that car dealers don't want you to do. The biggest thing is keep doing what you've been doing. The biggest thing that car dealers want you to keep doing is just do what you've been doing. Don't change nothing. Don't change nothing. Negotiate a little harder. You feel a little better. That's what they want. The last thing they want you to do is separate your transactions, bid them out online in minutes. I'll know what my trade is worth. I gotta do that for my mother's lease coming due. I'll be doing that, recording these videos because we document this. I document this for my people in Cars from Home Done With You. They see me shop. They're shopping with me because I need cars too. That's the beautiful thing about what I do. I need cars, so it's like every time I buy a car, I just document it. People who follow me, people who work with me personally, just follow the same steps, get the same result. It's not rocket science. But I'll know in 20 minutes if she has any equity in her lease. Last lease, when prices were up, we sold her car. She made $10,200. Now, everyone was making money if you were selling a car. I was telling people in 2021, 22, cash out. You're never going to see this again. I don't care what car you got. Sell it, cash out, put $7 grand, $10 grand, $12 grand in your pocket. People were getting out of negative equity deals because every car was worth $10,000 to $12,000 more than the normal price. Now the thing's back to normal. But we check for equity. This stuff takes minutes. This stuff doesn't take hours to do. We're on computers. We can visit this website, type this in. Oh, thanks. Got my equity. That's what dealers don't want you doing. Separating your transactions, bidding them out online, letting multiple people compete for your business. They can't stop it. There's nothing they could do. That is literally the car salesman's kryptonite. I used to do a masterclass, and I would talk about the 2 fears of every car salesman. And I don't care, the best car salesman in the world. I mean, I've sat next to people who make, there's some of the best in the world. Some of the people I've sat down with at Ray Katina, when I worked there, was Yankee Stadium. Guys making $300,000 a year, $350,000, the consummate professionals. Kryptonite was customer won't come into the dealership. Customer makes us shop competitors, makes us compete against competitors. That's all my book teaches you to do. Not going to the dealership unless you're test driving, make them compete. Exploits the 2 fears of every car salesman for your benefit. That's it. So all of this is in my book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. That is literally the name. Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. And you can get your copy for 75% off. You won't pay the normal $97 price. It's in my TikTok bio, but you only got 30 minutes. If you visited that site and the timer's down, if it's 2 minutes, once it goes to 0, it's $97. And it's still worth every penny. Go read those reviews on Goodreads. You won't read those reviews and not be like, oh yeah, this book is definitely worth $97. Go hear from your peers. You heard from me. You know, we'll be on here for another couple minutes. I want to answer a couple more questions for sure. But go hear from your peers. Go hear from the people who was like you on a live, met me on a live. Go hear from them. We got them everywhere. We post them everywhere. All right. But yeah, on YouTube, we have a comment pin for you. If you're on YouTube, you can get your 75% off in the pinned comment. And Facebook, we have a link floating for you guys to get your 75% off. All right. Make sure as soon as you get your book, you screenshot the thank you page. It has the support team's email on there, just in case you type your email wrong. You're doing fast, trying to get back to the broadcast, and then you type your email wrong. Make sure you have the support team's email so they can get you your book. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Pull the next question in. Hang on 1 second. All right. Can we pay you to do all of this for it? No, I'm gonna tell you why. One, you wouldn't be able to afford it. It would only be for the wealthy, because a person who's buying a car who appreciates their time is going to pay me and my team $700 to $1,000 to make sure they get a below market deal and show them what the whole market was and shop all of these dealers for them. But they don't realize they're paying for a process that takes us 90 minutes. So when you say, can you pay someone to do it? Unless they're giving you a market report. This is why brokers are ripping you guys off, because anyone who what they're doing is they're basing it off of your fear and your dread, and they're saying, well, just trust me. So you're still giving someone else the same way I just said. You're giving all the car dealers those 3 transactions. You're just giving them to a broker. Get me my loan. Get me this. Don't mark it up. No, unless they're bringing you a market report saying, hey, yeah, we shopped 25 dealers for you. Here was their offers. These dealers didn't have a car. Hey, we shopped the entire used car market for you. Here's the low side of the market. Here's the high. Here's the top 5 that we narrowed it down to. They're doing you a disservice. Here's the offers we got for your old car directly from the people who are going to buy it. All right, pay me my money, and then here, go pick up your car, go sell your car here. What we do takes 90 minutes. Now, I could do it in 90 minutes. As I said in the beginning, you going through the book, it's going to take you 2.5 hours, 3 hours. It's not going to take you more time than you would spend in one dealership. But that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. If this was a 10-hour process, 12 hours, yeah, maybe we charge and we create a team to do this for people. Oh, no, you're going to pay me and we're going to make $200, $300 an hour for our expertise, because you're going to pay us $700 to $1,000 and we're going to get a deal done for you in 90 minutes. So we're really making like $500 an hour, which is fine. But I'd rather teach people to fish than fish for them. Like, we're not building rocket ships here. We're going on websites and we're copying and pasting. Believe in yourself. Go ahead, Dolan. Let me make sure I get this. Okay, Cheryl, do you get the upgraded version in the same link that you bought the book before? No, you get the okay, so if you bought Cars from Home, anytime I update the book, I update the master file. I'm glad you asked this question, Cheryl, because I didn't even mention this. This is just more value that I give to the people that take action. I've updated that book probably, originally it was called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. So some of you have that version. And then I updated it, created Cars from Home. What I did is I went into the master file, replaced it with the new version, and everyone who went and opened that book, they were like, oh, wow, the name has changed. Oh, wow, this content has changed. Oh, wow. This is what we do. This is why I saw somebody in the comments says, is there any way to get a physical book? A physical book, you would have to pay every single time a website changes. Vroom went out of business. Vroom used to compete to buy our cars. Vroom, every time we have 8 marketplaces we shop. When we were shopping for used cars, in my book, I have something called the multiple marketplace strategy. We're on cars.com, Car Gurus, Carfax, Auto Trader, Driveway, Carvana, CarMax, and eBay Motors. We're on 8 marketplaces. Vroom used to be there. It used to be 9. Vroom went out of business. If you had a physical book, what happens now? Now you got to wait for volume 2. Oh, here's the new version. Now you're paying again. We went right into the master file, took Vroom out, updated it. No one saw Vroom again. These are things we could only do with a digital book. Some people go digital for their own reasons. They make a digital book for their own reasons. Cars from Home is digital because it's the best way for it to be. I link you to scripts. If you're reading and you're not able to open the scripts and copy and paste, you click a link, you open when you contact dealers, new cars and leases, there's a link you hit, open my scripts up, and you copy and paste them. You should be on a computer. We're car shopping on computers. So to be reading a physical book about car shopping on a computer, that just doesn't match. If you're reading about investing in stocks, sure. You're reading about other things, great. But we're car shopping online. The book should be online. So that's it. And anyone who has the book knows there'd be no way for that to be a physical book. I link you to certain videos. There's all types of stuff, bonuses in there, surprises. But wait, there's more. But not charging you for it. You're buying it and you're like, whoa, I didn't know he got videos in here that he links to. That's just all we do. We want to be the most valuable company to the car buyer. We take that very serious. Go ahead, Dolan. Yep, got mine. Good. I see you. Shout out to everybody who got their copy. Enjoy it and use it. Use it. What's up, Gladys? I need your help for my 24-year-old daughter that needs an affordable used car for work commute. We are in Raleigh, North Carolina. Max is $5,000. What I want you to do, Gladys, I want you to go to the YouTube or the Facebook replay. If you're on Facebook, I want you to watch this broadcast, but I need you to go about 20 minutes back, 30 minutes back. We had a woman on here who asked a similar question. Her budget was $10,000 max, and we went over a whole strategy for her. I want you to watch that, use that exact same strategy that we gave to her, okay? Because I don't want to just go over that. We went too into detail for me to just repeat it and go through all the things, because some people heard it. Jeff, he said, where do I locate the link? The link is in my TikTok bio. Click that picture of me. Same thing on Instagram. Click the picture of me. That's going to take you. You'll see a website there. And in that website is a link to activate the 75% off. You'll see 75% off new book, 30 minutes only. Go there, get your book, come back to the broadcast. Okay? And then on YouTube, we have the comment and check the comments for your link. And then on Facebook, we have a comment floating for you guys, a link floating for you guys. So get in where you fit in. Okay, Anna, I went to the dealership and they wanted to sell me a car for $40,000. The price was $25,000. They were charging 11.99% interest. Should be $480 monthly, but paper said $580. What to do? Couple things. You're mixing transactions. You're buying a car from them and you're giving them your loan. So when you allow them to do that, now they're able to move money around and manipulate the money. And all they're doing is hoping you negotiate. That's really what they're hoping. Hey, come on, negotiate. Don't just walk out. Give us a chance. We have all this money we're playing with, and we're hoping that you just try to negotiate with us. What they're hoping you don't do is to shop the competition. You need to find out who has the same car, because there are tons of dealers with the exact same car, and you need to get a price from them. Now, once you have the price from them, we use something called the bank bidding war, where once we have our best price on the car, now we're letting tons of banks and credit unions run our credit. Deshone, ain't that gonna mess our credit up? No, it is not. If you Google rate shopping, Experian, which is a credit bureau, they have an entire blog post where they teach you how you can rate shop within a certain period of time. You can have multiple banks and credit unions run your credit with a hard pull, and at the end of that rate shopping window, it's going to affect your credit like one hard pull. So if one hard pull would have dropped your credit score 10 points, 20 hard pulls in that wait window period will drop your credit score the same 10 points. This is how you rate shop, because many of you are overpaying, not just for the cars you're buying, for the loans you're getting. If you sign 11.99%, because some people wouldn't have asked questions, they would have signed the deal and just said, oh, I guess this was it. This is it. Hey, man, y'all got me. No money down. I did all right. And they would have not realized that you actually could have gotten 8.99. From 11.99 to 8.99 is literally, depending on the loan, $40,000 loan, that could be $2,000. So we're not taking rate shopping as seriously as we're taking car shopping. So what I'm doing from you, Anna, is I'm making sure I find every duplicate car out there, like the one that you're looking at, and I'm calling before I go. Because you also could have run into a dealership that listed one price online. Who's had this happen before? You see one price online, you get to the dealership, and they're like, okay, but we got a $2,000 prep fee. We got this this maintenance plan is mandatory. We added low jack in here, and then we have an internet fee that you have to pay that, or we can't do business. So you're like, wait, how the heck was the car 25? Who's had that happen? The car said 25. Now the bottom line is this, not just from the rate. So I made a video about that. It was about Atlantic Chevy. They had a vehicle on there that I called them, and they let me know they had no intention to sell the car to me at the price that was online. They were hoping, knowing, not even hoping, they know we're going to get so many people coming to this dealership from this price. We're going to sell some sucker who won't negotiate with us and who'll just be like, all right, man, I'm here already. Let me just get it over with. How much more is it? All right, what's the payment? You lost, bro. They just banged you over the head. They just extorted you, literally, and you signed a deal. So what we do is we find the similar cars. We always verify before we leave. You must verify fees before you go, because the gimmick is the bait and switch. What you're trying to decide, when we narrow this thing down, let me give you a real example here. You're narrowing your cars down. When I was narrowing my cars, I bought this white Infiniti truck 2 years ago. It was a 2020 at the time. It was 3 years old. I narrowed it down to my top 4. I realized that the prices online may not be the price that they want. The price online may be the gimmick price. So if I narrowed it down to my top 4, but I don't verify that there's only these 3 fees, pay attention. For those of you who have my book, who just got your book, you won't even have to worry about this. The price online should only come with 3 fees: tax, documentation fee, motor vehicles. That is it. Tax, motor vehicle, documentation fee. How do I know every single other fee is a scam? Because I've worked at several dealerships in 14 years, and not one of them had any fees other than those 3. So when we hear prep fee, internet fee, marketing fee, dealer this fee, motor vehicle fee is your license plate, your title, and your registration. Somebody said, what's the motor vehicle fee? DMV fees. Yep, DMV, exactly. That's it. So anyone who's an honest dealer, when you call them and say, hey, I see the price online here, I just want to verify, what fees do you charge other than what I'm seeing here? Hey, tax, title, and documentation. Perfect. You're still in the running. Once they tell you, oh, well, we got to, if you read the fine print, you see we charge everyone $1,800, but what we do is we add a warranty in-house. Okay, no problem. That's okay. Let me make a note of that, because that doesn't eliminate them. I'm going to tell you why that doesn't eliminate them. You might be the lowest price and you have a $1,000 bogus fee. It's bogus. But we do something that no one else does. All the things we're talking about, no one else does. Some of you like, Deshone, what are you talking about? No one's doing this. What we even talking? But when I started looking at how people buy used cars, I said there's one important thing that no one is doing. Type a letter U if you bought a used car in the past. I'm going to tell you guys We're getting ready to drop a bombshell, right? And some of you who have the book, you already know this. We're getting ready to drop something real big on this. See, if you've ever bought a used car, okay, I see you, Boz. I see you, Ian. Anyone who's ever bought a used car, see, the reason why I have to have you volunteer your information, because you're the one who's like, Deshone, I know you're about to tell me that I lost some money and I'm willing to take it because we ain't going to do it no more. So I appreciate you. You guys are the action takers. Not that everyone who doesn't comment isn't an action taker, but we got a good amount of people who just, you're the action takers. So like, you're the ones who like, I'm willing to hear the bad news because I need to get better. So I said, okay, how do we guarantee we're getting a good price on a used car if we don't know what it was when it was brand new? Let me give you a real example of this. We're going back to our scenario. We narrowed this down. I narrowed my Infinity trucks down to my top 4 choices. All of them were in a similar price range. I said, okay, we narrowed it down. We talked about that earlier. We narrowed it down based on title history, service records, accident records, and then we're shopping on the low side of the market. So now I'm looking at the low side. All of these vehicles are around between 30 and 32,000. Like, okay. I found out how to get the MSRP of the vehicle, which is the brand new price. The brand new MSRP is that sticker that comes from the day it's built. Why is that sticker so important? 2 big reasons. One, it's going to tell us what's in the vehicle. It'd be nice to know this vehicle has the cold weather package, right? Wouldn't it be nice to know this vehicle has a panoramic sunroof? Wouldn't it be nice to know this vehicle has, lane keeping assist and, cross rear traffic alerts? Can't see those things always, right? So it's nice to know, okay, wow, that vehicle has some features I didn't even see. Cool. Oh, it has a 19-inch rim. Doesn't have the 18-inch standard rim. Wow, couldn't really see that from the pictures. Second big reason we need to know this is because I need to know how much discount you're giving me from the new price. This is so big. When you're shopping online on these marketplaces, they're using an algorithm to tell you if it's a good deal or not. They're taking all the prices listed and they're saying, okay, this is good deal, this is fair deal, this is great deal. They're not basing it off of what we call, in my book, you'll see this, the true value discount. So when I pulled the new prices of these vehicles, those Infinity trucks, I saw one of them was 46,000 brand new. One of them was 48,000 brand new. One of them was 52,000 brand new. And the one that I ended up getting was 54,000 brand new. Had all these features, special edition, everything. Couldn't see it from the pictures. Had tons of equipment. Now, notice how that changes everything. I'm looking at a car that's 30,000, 30,005, 31,000, 31,008. They all look like close. You see how we just separated them real quick? Like all of this. And see, what happens is when you're not getting the true value discount, which is based on the new price, how much discount? You're picking the wrong vehicles. You're picking a vehicle, oh, well, he's 1,000 less, so let's go with him. But what if his vehicle is 6,000 less equipment? Type $ if you got that. There's nothing more. 2 big things when we're buying used cars. Quality vehicle. We went over that in the stream. Reliability check, initial quality check, longevity check. Service record, narrow it down. Title history, service records, accident history. Okay, that's quality. That's how we make sure we don't get a good car at a good price, but a bad car. So quality checks, we must do those. They take minutes. It's easy to do, 8-9 minutes. Boom, all right, my quality checks are done. My narrowing it down check. We don't buy a car that doesn't have service records. Tons of service records. This is how we eliminate stuff. How do we eliminate? How do we start with 80 cars on the marketplace and narrow it down to a top 5? Easy, because we're looking. Okay, can't get a Carfax here. Okay, boom. Oh, no service records here. Oh, there's a big gap. no oil changes for 30,000 miles. All right, they're out of it. Then we're narrowing it down, but that's quality. When we get to price on used cars, we are verifying it. We have to assess the market, look at the low side, narrowing it down to our top 5 on the low side of the price range. And then once we look at the prices, we need to get the new price. Verify there's no bogus fees. But sometimes even with give you an example, the truck I bought, the one I bought, it was 54,000 brand new. This is how important this is to understand that even that dealer could have said, hey, well, we got $1,000 prep fee. No other dealer had it. But when I take the brand new price of it, when I divide, and I have a calculator in my book that does this for you. You literally type in the asking price, 31.8, divide that into the new price, which was 54.5. We can see we're paying 58% of what the new car price was. 3-year-old vehicle had 26,000 miles at the time. I got a 42% discount. That's how we're judging it. That's how we're judging it. See, because all the other Infiniti trucks, if I'd have took the one that was 30, let's say I took the one that was 46,000 brand new, divided that into 50, into their asking price, let's say it was 30. Okay, wait, hold on. 52,000, no, asking price divided into MSRP, which is 46, 65. That's only a 35% discount. That's only a 35% discount. See, this is the true value discount. This is something that's proprietary to Car From Home. We created this stuff. We didn't go and learn this. I didn't learn this from people. We brought this to the market. No one does these things. But now when we're looking at these cars that look seemingly similar asking price, once we know the new price, I could tell, okay, you're offering me a 35% discount from the new price. You're offering me 37%. The one I got offering me 42%. That's the biggest discount. Doesn't matter what the dealer's at. Oh, I don't want to negotiate. Or, hey, I got this fee. It's all about the true value discount, which is the discount from when it was new. And no man, I'm going to tell you, none of these marketplaces are going to do that. I'm going to tell you why they're not going to do it. They get paid to sell cars. Shout out to the people running the lights up, tapping the screen. Every time you hear something you like, just double tap the screen. Man, we killing it over here, man. Killing it. This is your money. This is your money. I can't care more about your money than you. If you care about your money, you're locked in. You're locked in. All I want is people writing me, sending me pictures, sending me emails. Deshone, man, look at this car. Look at what I paid for. I got 5 offers. This is what I chose. I had to drive an hour and a half to pick it up. I love those. Those emails make my day. Those emails make my day. All I want is more money in your family's household that you didn't have to spend. If other people are paying $700 a month to drive a car, I want you driving it for $500. If other people are getting a $2,000 discount, that's the average market value, I want you getting a $7,000 discount. That's it. I don't care about anything else. That's it. So everything we teach, I told you at the beginning of the stream, if you don't want to remember this, and you're like, Deshone, man, just give me the blueprint, because we're gonna go over a lot. We didn't even really go into leasing versus buying today. Like we haven't even, like, leasing versus buying. Those of you who are not keeping your cars 8 years, you're losing thousands and thousands of dollars not leasing. You're losing in depreciation and resale value. And, we have to take an entire segment and go over you were taught that. That wasn't a decision you made. Or you chose a bad lease. You knew you drove 15,000 miles a year, but you got 10,000. I've had people say that. Yeah, I knew I needed like 18, but I got 12. I said, if I go over, I'll just buy the car. Terrible. Terrible. Who taught you that? Who told you to buy a car that you went over miles on? When you lease, they give you what's called a residual value. That's what you could buy the car for at the end. That residual value is usually not a good price. In most cases, that's not a good price. That's a price that you could get a used car for, a better used car, lower miles, comparable car for less than that. But every now and then, the residual value is market value, and it's like, all right, I'll buy it. But it's based on it's based on, you told us you were going to drive 30,000 miles in 3 years. This buyout price is market value for a car with 30,000 miles. You could buy this car for 19 grand. We expect you to have 30,000 miles. You can buy it for 19 grand. You go and you put 50,000 miles on it and you buy it for 19 grand. Do y'all understand that? Do you understand that? Market assessment. We just helped a young lady that works with me buy her lease out. She has a beautiful GV80, and she went and she made sure there was nothing else that she wanted to replace it with. I told her, if you keep this vehicle 8 years, you win another 8 years. Because if you don't, I can show you that if you just shop for another below market lease, you'd save a lot more money and you'd have new cars over the next. So I said, don't buy this lease out and then go and replace it in 3 years. You're lost because you're going to spend a ton of money. You've been paying for this car for years. And then she said, no. She went out. She looked at all the competitors. She said, Deshone, I'm telling you, I just love this car. I'm going to buy this car and it's going to be my car. I'm going to baby it. Perfect. But I said, listen, one more thing you must do. I need you to go on the marketplaces. I need you to put in the specs of what comparable cars to yours are actually listed for. We can't see what they're selling for because it's not like houses. We don't have comps. But I need you to see what they're listed for because you cannot overpay for your own lease. She did it. She came back. She said all the cars that are listed for my buyout, I think her buyout was like 31,000. Every other GV80 was like with comparable miles was like 35, 30. So she was on the low side of she was on the low side of the market. I said, perfect. That's all. You're good. That's what matters. Because if you buy your lease out and you could have gotten a used version of that car for 31 and you paid 35 because you wanted to buy your own lease, you just overpaid by $4,000 to buy your own car. And you're not going to feel it now. Well, you'll feel it higher payment. But then when you go to replace that car and say, wait, how y'all only giving me 12,000? Well, because it wasn't worth 35. You overpaid for it. So this is how I dissect transactions. This is why anyone in New Jersey, anyone who's dealt with me, who knew me from the time I was with General Motors, and really when I got to Mercedes, that's when I really became an advisor. Any of my clients would tell you I've been this way. I control the car transaction for my clients. It's a financial conversation. Now, many of my clients did work on Wall Street. They helped me to understand a lot of things. So I had a lot of Wall Street people, and I would ask them questions. Listen, why are you not paying cash for this? And you could, though. Well, I use the bank's money for free. Y'all got 0% financing. Y'all got 0.99. I'm like, okay, it's measuring risk here. And so there were questions that I asked. How'd you end up upside down in this car? You've had it for 5 years already. Well, I leased it, then I bought it. Oh, so you leased it for 3 years, then you took out a loan for another 6 years. You've had the car 5 years, you still have negative equity. Let me start telling people not to buy their leases because this is what happens to them. So all of this is that this is like, it's my unique experience that God brought me through that allowed me to shape how I teach and put this book together that has become a hit, that has helped hundreds and hundreds of people get to below market deals that I know of. We've delivered over 1,000, over 10,000 books now. So it's just, people just use it. That's all I say. So get your copy for 75% off in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio. You won't pay the normal $97 price as long as you get there before the 30-minute timer hits 0. Click the picture of me, Instagram and TikTok. You'll see a website there. And then on YouTube and on Facebook, you guys have a comment check the comment section for your link for 75% off. But just get it. All I want to do is see people win. Our miles in the value calculator. We always shop our leases with 12,000 miles per year. Always 12,000 miles per year, because that's how we base it. Everything we do when we're judging a lease deal armchair, we're judging it based on the 1% rule, which is older than, I don't know when it was invented, but it was certainly around when I got into the car business. So The 1% lease rule was for super savvy people. Lease people who just like, if you can get a lease payment, no money down, that's 1% of the MSRP or less, you stole the car. Now, some people might say, oh, Deshone, that sounds pretty crazy. Well, we do this all day long. Ansley, $554 a month, vehicles $58,000. You divide the monthly payment into the MSRP, and you can see. Zafrina, $579 a month, MSRP was $65,950. That's a 0.88% lease. No money down. You cannot buy your way to a 1% lease. You can't say I used to get people that would DM me, yeah, Deshone, you know, I'm at like 1.1 and all I put down was my taxes. No, you're not. You're not at 1.1. No money down. Your first month's payment only. My first month's lease payment is all we're factoring in when we're getting these offers. First month's lease payment divided into the MSRP, 12,000 miles per year. Shopping my best offers. That's how you judge a 1% lease deal. Teddy, $73,000 BMW, $856 a month. That's a 1.16% lease deal. So all of these are, let's see. Okay, that's a Honda. Okay. Now, how does you don't get to a 1% deal by just negotiating? You need a great lease program. So we have a formula for overpaying for a lease. Overpaying for a lease is over 1.5%. You're paying too much money for a vehicle that you're giving back. Too much money. When you add up all the payments, oh yeah, absolutely. We lease with no money down. That's all we do, Antonio. When you add up all the payments, you'll see I paid $24,000 over 3 years for a vehicle that MSRP was 40. I paid like 65% of the vehicle in 3 years. You overpaid for the lease. So that's why one of the reasons Dave Ramsey doesn't understand leases, because he probably looks at commercials and says, wow, you're paying all that. You're paying more than the natural depreciation of the vehicle. Yeah, at those numbers, you are. That's why we don't judge those deals. So yeah, everything we're shopping off of is based on the 1% rule, and which is a steal. Anything under 1%, you stole the vehicle. Like, great value, but you need a great lease program to get there and big discounts. So we're going to using our process, using what you'll learn in the book, using what you learned in this stream, you can get multiple offers and get big discounts. But if they don't have a lease program that has a good residual, a good money factor, rebates, then you're going to fall somewhere in between 1.2, 1.5. The closer to 1.5 after you get all your offers. You must get 5 offers. You can't walk into an 80% dealer and they give you a 1.5% lease and you're like, well, I guess this is the best. No, once we get 5 offers, we can see, okay, clearly this best offer is 1.4, but we have other higher offers, 1.6, 1.7. So when you get your offers the right way, it's going to shock you how these dealers been ripping you off, because you're going to see these same dealers you've been buying from, their offers are going to be $100 more a month than these other offers, $200 more a month, $300 more per month. That's okay. 80%, let the 80% be who they are. Don't try to change them. Focus on the 20%. But now, if your best offers is 1.4, then that means the lease program is not that aggressive. It's decent. It's decent. Because anything under 1.5, good value. No money down. But when you're talking about 1.1, 0.88, these are vehicles that have big rebates, great residual values, lots of support from the manufacturer to move these vehicles, and you're getting a big discount from whoever the winning dealer was, the 20% dealer. That's the big difference. So that's how we judge leases. That's how we judge leases. But we shop with 12, and then let's say we drive 18,000 miles or 25,000 miles. We always shop our offers with 12, and then once we identify the winning dealer, that's who we adjust. We say, okay, can you show me what it would be for 25,000 miles per year instead of the 12? 18,000 instead of the 12. That's what Jen did. Because some people are losing pennies. They're losing pennies They're losing dollars to try to save pennies. Jen, she drove 18,000 miles per year. She shopped a Honda CRV hybrid, very hot vehicle. This vehicle has been very hot since the pandemic. $39,000 vehicle. She shopped her best offer. She got $512 a month, no money down, which was a 1.3% lease. $39,000. So she drives 18,000 miles. She adjusted it to 18,000. The price went from 512 to 563. She can drive as much as she wants, enjoy her lease, not have to worry about foolish penalties that would have been her fault. That's what I say. If you didn't get enough lease mileage, it was your fault. To save $40, you got a lease that's going to penalize you for the mileage you drove for no reason. That just does it. These are very bad decisions when people get leases, getting less miles than they actually need. So literally, she went from 512, 18,000 miles up to 563. She's driving, and it's just, this is how you want to structure your leases so that you enjoy your leases. And we have people who lease 25,000 miles a year. There's leases that go up to 30,000 miles per year. The key is, if you're not keeping your cars 8 years, you should be leasing. It's not even a question. These pennies, people are paying cents on the dollar to drive new cars. A $500 payment on a used car, that's a $25,000 car. You can't compare that to driving $40,000 cars for the same payments and all of that. No, we just can't. All right. So I think we went deep today. Shout out to everyone who checked in. If you just jumped on, you missed a good show. We got the replay on Facebook. We got the replay on YouTube. But everything we learned today is out of my new digital book. There's nothing that I freestyled except the part for Facebook Marketplace. That's the part that I did. That's my unique strategy. It's not in my book. When we're buying private cars, we put that to the side, that buying from an owner. But everything else is out of the new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealership. That's going to teach you how to get below market leases, below market purchases, below market used cars, every high mileage driving technique that you need to take into account. And you do it from the bank bidding war, making banks bid for your business, doing it the right way, all 3 rounds. All of that is done from home, 90 minutes, 2 hours. You're going to have people fighting for your business. It's hard not to save money when tons of people are fighting for your business versus you going into a dealer and begging, fighting. Come on, take another 1,000 off. Come on. So you can get your copy for 75% off. It's normally $97. And it's worth every penny of $97. It will say this will be the most, I'd say top 3 most valuable books you've ever bought. Guaranteed. I don't care what other books. I got a lot of books in my library here. I cannot tell you a lot of them that have made me money and saved me money. Couple. Tony Robbins' book on money. Yeah. All these other books, yeah, they've helped me in other ways, but I can't tell you that I'm richer or I have more money in my bank account because of them. This will be one that will save you more money than, it'll be in your top 3. So get your copy in my TikTok bio. If you're on Instagram, click the picture of me, click the link in my Instagram bio. If you're on Facebook, click the link in the comment section. If you're on YouTube, click the link in the comment section. Get your 75% off. Get there before the 30-minute timer runs out. And make sure you send me your success stories. Every time you get your cars, I want to hear about it. DM me. I love to see people winning when it comes to these strategies. And I say armchair, I already got it. Shout out to you. Use it, win, share it with family. I don't care. I'm not even off that. 60 million people buy cars. We got 10,000 books in the market. Like, if you could share it, I don't care. I'm not on don't share the book. Look, at the end of the day, they don't know me. One day we'll have software out and people will know Cars from Home, and then everyone will use it and it'll be software that everyone can use. But for now, we got to save our people. People are getting once you get your first car using Cars from Home, if anyone even shows you what they're paying, if you're willing to look at your neighbor's deal and say, oh man, you're going to be like me. You're going to be like me. You're going to not want to tell them because you don't want to make somebody feel bad, but you're going to be like, well, next time, just use this book, man. I'm going to send you this link. This guy, he created this whole thing. He used to be in the car business. Just use this next time. Just use this. It's blood. It's blood in the street out here, man. Car dealers making more money than they've ever made, and all they want you to do is just keep shopping the same way. Don't unlearn that. So that's why a huge part of what we do over here is you got to unlearn. You got to unlearn. If you're not willing to let go of what you've been programmed to do, you can't win. But if you're willing to unlearn that was the way they programmed you to shop, because it was for their benefit. Once you unlearn that, oh, we could win all day. We'll be winning for the rest of our lives with cars. All right. So shout out to the new followers. Shout out to everybody. Could everyone hit the like button before you jump off? It does matter for the algorithm, so more people can find the replays. Just hit that like button. If you're on YouTube, share with a friend. We appreciate you. I'll see y'all in the next stream. You already know.